Hello, you can go to PresidentUniverse.com. You can check out our latest blog called Uncle Sam or CSAM. And you can read it. Just be aware, this blog is highly graphic. It's sinister and it's beyond comprehension. It's about the Minnesota State Trooper who was arrested recently in 2025 for sexually abusing an infant. Okay? In a lot of these videos, he was dressed up in his state trooper uniform with his gun in his holster, because apparently those are more popular among their community of his type of people. And that state trooper is Jeremy Francis Polanski. He's currently in federal custody because apparently the state of Minnesota wanted nothing to do with investigating any of this stuff, and I don't think people realize how big child trafficking and pedophilia is in Minnesota. Something nobody wants to talk about or deal with. Just last year alone, 3 law enforcement officers were arrested in Minnesota for having Uncle Sam on their phone. Okay, that's CSAM. It's case number 70-CR-25-7066 in the state of Minnesota district courts, mncourts.gov. Okay, and in there you'll find a page called the Statement of Probable Cause. That's 6 pages long. Okay, but I'm not going to go on and read this blog because it's very graphic. I'm going to read. I'm going to ask the questions about what I had a lot of questions about this, and my first question was, how come it took federal agents all the way in Texas to initiate the investigation of the Minnesota State Trooper Jeremy Polanski? Okay, how come no one in Minnesota law enforcement, no local police, okay, not our Minnesota BCA, nobody in Minnesota law apparently investigates this stuff because they know what happens, I guess. And then my second question is, whose infant child was this? Were the parents of this child or caretakers, like an orphan, an orphan, held responsible for allowing a Minnesota State Trooper to Uncle Sam their child? Okay, so where do these infants come from that are so popular among their community, the Masons and Stones community? Where do they come from? How do you get them? So again, there has to be parents involved with this that get paid very well to either adopt a child or have a child just for this purpose, because it is a cash cow. Okay? And then how could something like this happen without using cell phones? Okay? Without leaving a digital trace. Okay? Now we've talked a lot about nanobots and nanotechnology, how that's communication. Okay? But what's another way to do this out in public, okay, without cell phones, okay, and just by using signals to each other? Well, you could be reading, let's say you're at a children's pool, there's somebody at a children's pool, they go down and sit in chair number 2, okay, pretend that stands for 2-year-old, okay, and then they pull out a book, okay, like they want to book an appointment, right? That's what a book means. They pull out a book, sit in chair number 2-year-old, and the book says guest list, like they want to book an appointment on the guest list for a 2-year-old child, okay. So that's a very small example of how somebody could go out into a public place where there's children, okay, at public pools, any place to do with children, okay, where the public has access to it, especially young minor children, okay. Those are places where you would see these signals used, okay, to play out their little game. It's a game to them, and that's all it is. Because I don't think the reason why the Uncle Sam means child sexual abuse material. That's how popular it is in the United States. And I don't think if you're a woman that's part of this, you're sick, number one. Okay? But if you're a woman that's not a part of this, you don't realize how many men are a part of this. Okay? And they come from all walks of life, okay? Law enforcement, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. They've gotten away with it for so long and been so brazen about it, that they do this stuff kind of like a state trooper will wear his uniform in these videos. Like, that's how confident they are they're going to get away with it. So that's my question for Minnesota law enforcement and local police. How do you not, I know you're patrol, a lot of you are patrol, okay? And then you have your chief of police, okay? Patrol is really reactionary, like you're not allowed to investigate stuff or follow up with stuff for the most part. You react to calls, okay? Or you react to warrants and stuff like that. But the people that are in charge of investigations in your police departments, okay, specifically your chief, your deputy chief, okay, and your sergeants, those are typically the people you should be investigating this stuff. It's in every single town in Minnesota, okay? Minnesota is like the most popular state for Uncle Sam. So I want police officers, if you're not a part of this, because apparently there's a whole police officer community that become police officers to be part of this Uncle Sam community or the Masons and Stones community. And they kind of look out for people reporting it or investigating it, and they'll, to try to destroy them. So that's why police officers are get involved with this stuff. If you're not in the pedophilia ring, okay, sometimes you'll see guys wearing necklaces with a big ring around it, okay, that's the ring, Lord of the Rings. There's many different names for it, but I'm calling on law enforcement nationwide, specifically here in Minnesota, to really gear up and open up your eyes about this stuff, and how widespread it is across the United States. Because if a state trooper can do it, if a local police officer can do it, there was an FBI agent that got caught doing it. It's all walks of life. I mean, it's and again, it's something we as good people don't want to think about, because you don't ever think about that stuff. You don't even think it's possible, and that's why good people fail to come to terms with how big it is and how sinister it is because you're such a good person, you could never imagine doing something like that to a child. So your mind is telling you, I'm not believing in that. Nobody could do that. Well, yes, they do. And you'd have no idea how much it happens, right? So that's what I want to get to the bottom of too, is like, where are all these children that get on these videos and these popular videos among these Uncle Sam websites? Where do they come from, and who are their parents? Like, I'd like to trace that back. So if you're in law enforcement, like specifically this Jeremy Plonsky case, the Minnesota State Trooper, I want to know how that baby got involved with that state trooper. That's a bigger story to me, because I think that'll break open a lot of that'll kind of expose a larger network of where these children are coming from. And I have some hunches. Okay, there's a corporation called Compassion International, where they bring over kids from overseas, where you sponsor them, and these kids become like pets, okay, to these Uncle Sams, these Masons and Stones. They become like their pets. So that could be one way, or one way it happens, because a lot of these guys are Christian. Okay, they wear cross necklaces everywhere. Or they will wear a cross necklace with another necklace with a ring around it. Okay, and that's how confident and brazen they are. It's like it's like a non-verbal communication to like all the other guys that are involved with it. That's how they communicate. Yep, we got each other. So I want to know where this baby came from. How did it get involved with this Minnesota State Trooper? Who are the parents? Who is the caretaker of this baby? Were they ever held accountable? Because it doesn't talk about that in any of these news reports. Like no reporter is asking where did this baby come from? Nobody. I haven't seen anybody talking about how does a baby even get put in that position? Who's providing the baby? Right? Love you. Have a great day.